So as the reality begins to sink into PlayStation fans, as you can see here from Nicola, Sony single-player games going day one to PC soon just got a lot more obvious. The reality is sinking in slowly as they continue to burn money, burn millions in their escapade for live service, and outside of Helldivers 2, they just simply can't catch a break. From Concord, God of War live service, Last of Us, Spider-Man, Ben Studios multiplayer, which they've been working on for 2 solid years, Twisted Metal, London Studios just completely getting canned entirely, Deviation Games going bye-bye, Payback, a third-person Destiny spin-off, loads of these, this is a lot of games that have just disappeared. And instead of them asking questions and holding Sony accountable, wondering what the hell is going on at Camp Sony, where is the old Sony, why aren't they utilizing their old IPs? No, they're coming after Xbox for some weird reason. You go into any PlayStation podcast, and all you're going to hear them talk about is, of course, Xbox. God forbid a PlayStation podcast will actually talk about PlayStation. I mean, at one point, miracles will happen, and we will actually find a PlayStation podcast that does actually talk about PlayStation news and not just rally on with the hatred for Xbox. It's weird, and when challenged with pro Xbox information or the fact that PlayStation is soon to follow, going day and date with PC, that is the only time they lose their minds and talk about PlayStation. But of course, that isn't what this video is about. So here we have Insider Gaming with an exclusive Microsoft Activision deny reports regarding financial performance. Now, I've said all along in my video that it's, if you put it to the smell test, if it doesn't really smell right, then there's something wrong with that article. And obviously, this dude who was there to kind of make people money is now actively trying to make them lose money? What's he trying to do? Buy their own shares and con their own people, or maybe buy his own shares? Maybe that's what he's trying to do. But anyway, let's see what's going on here. On Wednesday, a report from The Information claimed that Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard hasn't resulted in growth that the company expected with its Xbox business at this point. The report quotes paywalled one analyst, of course it's going to be paywalled, portfolio manager Denny Flash, as saying Activision has been disappointing for the company's overall revenue. After reaching out to Activision and Microsoft for a comment, representatives from both companies not only said the Information's report, and let's be real, no one's really heard of the Information up until this report, wasn't accurate and through omission is misrepresenting the business, but provided context to show how the company has performed since the purchase along with the state of Microsoft Gaming. In its last 4 earnings report, Microsoft has reported revenue increases regularly for Xbox content and services going back to Q2 fiscal year 2024. Xbox content and services revenue increased by 61%, driven by 55 points of the net impact from Activision acquisition. For the next quarter, revenue was reported to have increased by 62%, with 61 points attributed to Activision. For Q4 2024, it was up another 61% with 58 points of net impact from the purchase. Lastly, Q1 of 2025 saw the revenue increase by 61% with 53 points coming from Activision. Breaking the numbers down, Activision has accounted for over 85% of each quarter's earnings revenue increase. It also shows over the last 3 quarters a slight steady growth outside of Activision's impact from a low of 1 point to 8 points as of Q1 fiscal year 2025. So that's amazing, right? They've gone from 1 point to 8 points, basically like a 7% increase. That's insane. That's a pretty good increase. But to say that it's been disappointing? Really? I mean, they've seen massive growth there. What's more, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella alluded to the purchase's benefit during the company's Q1 fiscal year 2025 earnings call last October about the acquisition and gaming's growth. We set new records for monthly active users in the quarter as more players than ever play our games across devices on the Xbox platform, he said, while saying that the business is positioned for long-term growth. Regarding Xbox Game Pass, Nadella said that the service set a record for the number of new Game Pass subscriptions on Call of Duty Black Ops 6's launch day. He added that the service set a new Q1 record for total revenue and average revenue per subscriber. Moving on to the suggestion from the report that in 2021, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said that the company could wind down its games business entirely. The company flat out denies that. That shit got denied. They point to comments made around that time with Nadella expressing that Microsoft is all in on gaming. They closed by saying that engagement on Xbox platforms is at an all-time high. Microsoft says that they are well over 500 million monthly active users, and over the last year, we've seen consistent growth in monthly users on cloud as well. So as what they're basically telling you here is that in terms of gaming, players playing, and revenue coming in, they are now enjoying the twilight years of their gaming. So to say that Xbox is going somewhere, or this doom and gloom article that came about, what can I say? It was all baloney, like I said in my video this morning. It's crazy. But some will have you, as you will see, questioning that apparently now we're all questioning these analysts. Of course we're going to question the analysts. Regarding the report's claims on Azure servers and Activision deal not being a catalyst to get other studios to release their games on Game Pass, Insider Gaming was told that the information's report conflates an opinion that developers are scared of profit loss with the fact that the business is already set up to pay developers up front if that's their choice for how they want to structure the deal. So they can either have a pay-as-you-go with people playing and then they get money, or they can get a lump sum up front, which is how Microsoft has always done this. Microsoft is scheduled to announce its Q2 earnings for fiscal year 2025 on January 29th, where we'll find out the full truth. This is interesting. So basically, they've come out and basically said, no, we are all in on gaming and we're not going anywhere. This also confirms that the consoles are coming in 2026. The handheld is going to be a thing in 26, 27. More games are coming. 2025 is an amazing year for Xbox with all those first party games lined up. I just don't see how that report in its wildest dreams could ever be true. But you know what? We have this one as well. This is from Derek Strickland. But you know what is really cool before we jump into this article? The fact that if you've made it this far, you should be hitting that subscribe button, that like button, and that red button to subscribe so you get all content I release at a timely manner. And if you want to support me further, you can do that through my YouTube membership, starting at as low as $2. Hit that join button and join the Chaos Army. Right, back to the show. Microsoft's game division has shrugged off reports that Activision buyout has been disappointing for revenue growth, delivers clarifying statements. But a certain nibs will have that this statement from Microsoft doesn't answer anything. It's completely bogus, it's trash, it's full of fluff, when these people are already telling you that that is not the case. But hey, don't take it from me. The TLDR of this, Microsoft has clarified reports about Xbox's financial performance, highlighting record revenues of $21.52 billion in fiscal year 24, with Activision contributing $7.2 billion. Microsoft has responded to the recent reports from Information regarding the Xbox business. Days ago, Information posted up a paywalled article. Notice how these are always paywalled, right? Discussing the state of Xbox business, the picture seems dire. Janice Henderson of Investors Portfolio Manager Denny Fish says that Activision has been disappointing when everything points to it not being disappointing. And another analyst believes that the majority of the video games market isn't interested in Game Pass-like subscription model, which is total fallacy. The reports have been clarified by Microsoft, and our own data sets based on publicly released financial info also reinforced some of these findings. The clarifications, which include info from both Microsoft and Activision, were given to Insider Gaming as a response to the Information's article. And as you can see here, you've got the fiscal year earnings. They started out, in 2015, it was 9.03, right? This is $1 billion. And by 2024, they're at $21.52 billion, people. You know, even the heyday of, I mean, this is roughly Xbox One started around here. So this is pretty much around the Xbox One generation. You can see that it's completely dwarfed every other year. The release of the Series X had it at 11.58. They've doubled that almost. It's crazy to think that people are saying that it's underperforming. Revenue-wise, Xbox has never been in a better position, breaking $21.52 billion for the first time ever in fiscal year 2024 with Activision contribution. Data also shows that Activision contributed $7.2 billion in revenue throughout the year, accounting for 32% of full-year revenues for the period. So that makes it a great buy for Microsoft, right? A genius move. Remember that these are revenues and not profits. Profits aren't disclosed, but these values had previously been deduced as part of an internal Microsoft metric called accountability margin, or AM. This figure has been seen in the leaked FTC versus Microsoft court documents from 2023, which are cited throughout the Information's article, namely the mentions of the 110 million Xbox Game Pass subscribers by 2030 target. It's actually 100 million, not 110. Xbox's Phil Spencer has since gone on record to say that much has changed since those targets had been outlined, indicating that those metrics, targets, and plans have been altered. We've also discussed how achieving 110 million Xbox Game Pass subscribers by 2030 is probably not possible. What did the portfolio manage mean exactly? Maybe it was that Activision isn't performing nearly as well as it once had? A quick look at Activision earnings reference data shows that the publisher's revenues had been down for the last 2 years in a row. Activision hit an all-time high with 8.8 billion revenues in 2021, driven by a strong mobile explosion. Call of Duty Mobile was insane in terms of money just the money brought in, and then dropped to 7.52 billion in 2022. So they lost just over 1 billion. Data is incomplete for 2023, and they don't have info on the Q3 period, but we do know that Activision Blizzard contributed over 2.08 billion towards Xbox's gaming revenues. That was the quarter in which Microsoft acquired ABK. So as you can see, all this talk about doom and gloom, about Microsoft being in the worst possible position it could be in, the acquisition being not so profitable and, disappointing, and Game Pass not being great, it's all rubbish. 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 Absolutely rubbish. And when you have Puerto Rico saying now PC and Xbox fanboys are trying to discredit portfolio managers just to own PlayStation fanboys, yes we are. Because we clearly told you that it was bogus. And Microsoft came out and bitch slapped this Danny left, right, and center and proved that we were right. All the information is there. People can sugarcoat it how they want. The information is there for all to see. But folks, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, and I will see you in the next one. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release, and I will see you in the next one.